So, another day, another video, and today, we're looking at the Beast Kingdom Dawn of Justice Superman action figure. Last time we had a close and in-depth look at the Batman figure, so I can't wait to get my hands dirty and have a little peekaroo at this one. So the packaging for this figure is the same as the last one. Big window in the front, the cool looking logo on the bottom, you can see all the accessories displayed on the inside. The back of the package has that really cool looking artwork. I love it. I wish I had a poster of all these. They're just so stylistic and eye-catching. Even the side of this packaging looks really cool with all the basic info. They've just done a really fabulous job with all of these figures in this line, making them look really attractive on the shelf. Not that I get these from a shelf. I order mine. When we slice and dice and open and yank, here's what we get. The instructions like last time, which we don't need to read here. And he also comes with everything you see here. That being an extra head with heat vision eyes. Always the heat vision eyes, never the smile. Although he didn't really smile much in Dawn of Justice, did he? Ah, heck, they could have given us a head based off that cheeky grin that he gives while he's saving Lois. A set of flight hands, and then a set of more grabby, fighty, pensive-looking flight hands, and also a set of hands for grabbing onto the kryptonite spear that he also comes with authentic, kind of kryptonite-ish looking tip that he uses for killing Doomsday with in Dawn of Justice. Superman also comes with a nifty looking action figure base with his name on it so you know it's his, and an arm, and a claw, and when you put them together, you get this here grabby claw arm base. Although, I do kind of find this stand to be useless because it's so short. So first, if we take a nice slow look from head to toe with this Superman figure, I can point out automatically some of the things that I really like about it. For one, the colors complement each other really nice. The paint seems to be pretty clean and fairly accurate, and all the colors complement each other really nicely with the muted, kind of grayish blue and the brighter red. Is it completely movie accurate? Well, that's hard to say, because the costume under different light actually looks slightly different colors. There's times when it looked really bright, and then there's times when the suit looked really dark. So this to me seems like a good middle ground for capturing Henry Cavill's movie suit. Now looking closer at the body, does the detail work actually line up with how Superman looked in Dawn of Justice? Well, I can tell you that that is not the Dawn of Justice S-shield on his chest. That's the Man of Steel one. The Dawn of Justice actually had the glyphs going all through it, where this one doesn't. Also for Henry Cavill's detailing in the mid area, it's not movie accurate to Dawn of Justice either. The big giveaway is the lack of any Kryptonian glyphs anywhere on this suit, which was a definite and noticeable additive for Dawn of Justice. The boots for this figure, though, are actually pretty accurate in the sense that the Man of Steel boots only have a single line at the top of the boots, whereas Dawn of Justice has that double line design. Now the cape for this figure, it's really huge. It's made out of like a soft, kind of rubbery-ish plastic. I do believe this would fall more along the lines of plastic than rubber. It looks really good. Like if you just want to put them on a shelf, on a flight stand and just leave them there like forever, I would just leave this cape on there. But for someone like me, I want to crack them out just a few more times and take some more pictures. I will likely end up pulling this cape off of the action figure. It is textured nice though. It does have a really kind of cool look to it. Looks like actual fabric. Just like the Batman one, they really tried to make the cape look the part. And then we come to the head sculpt for this figure, and it's not terrible, but it's not great. To me, it looks more like some sort of hand-drawn, cartoonish caricature of Henry Cavill portraying Superman. Like the kind of thing that Henry would pay someone $25 to sketch for him as he walks down some boardwalk near some beach. The head looks kinda squished, the eyes are too close together, and I'm just not a fan of how they painted the eyes on this character. Now, where this figure actually differs in comparison to the Batman figure from the Beast Kingdom line is actually in the articulation and then in the aesthetic that you get from the articulation points. So Superman's head is on a ball joint, and there's also articulation in the neck. I wouldn't mess with it too much, because then that big ugly crack shows up. However, there's quite a bit of movement in that head. Can he get into a good flight pose? Well, if I'm not pulling his head off, no one can fly without a head. As I was saying, can he get into a good flight pose? Well, that's about what you're gonna get. So it's not superior articulation as far as it being useful for that kind of thing. But he can look all around and, do the jello neck head bob. The Superman's also got the same kind of shoulder articulation as Batman did, with the ball joint that you can pull in and out, if you can see that there. and there's a hinge. So it's a hinge ball joint, obviously a hinge ball joint. You can see the hinge mark there. And just like with the Batman, you pull it up like that. That's with the hinge all the way in. You pull the thing out, and it doesn't really add to it because the cape kind of gets in the way. So it doesn't really do much more. I mean, maybe forward a little bit more, but it's just, I don't know. I would rather, again, just go with a basic swivel hinge. But the good thing is, this is actually hidden a lot better than the Batman's. You can pose him and it doesn't look quite as weird. I mean, yeah, if you pull his arms back like that, you're going to notice, but just standing neutrally, or even in just a lot of various poses, you're not going to notice it much. I think they handled it better. He's also got swivel biceps all the way around, and mine aren't stuck like the Batman's were. And then he differs compared to the Batman with the elbows. The Superman's elbows actually swivel round 360 degrees, but they're not double jointed like Batman's were, so they only go about that far in. Just like Batman, he's got the double ball jointed wrists there with one inside the arm and one inside the wrist. And he's got articulation here just like Batman, only check this out. This is actually far, far, far more usable than Batman's was. And then he's got articulation here at the waist, and he's got about the same amount as Batman had. So far, I gotta say, from the waist up, I'm definitely more satisfied with the Superman figure, aesthetically and movably, articulation-wise, in comparison to what I was with Batman. Now, in regard to Henry Cavill's groin articulation, it's the same as Batman's in the sense that it's a drop hinge ball joint, just like Batman's was, only for one, the articulation point is hidden a lot better. You can pose this guy around and it doesn't stick out quite as much. It doesn't look quite as bad. So, I mean, I gotta give the Superman figure more points as far as that goes. I'm just more impressed with it. He's also got the thigh cut. Oh, mine's stuck. Turn it, yes! Oh. That's loud. He's got double jointed knees that crunch up what you would expect, and they're clicky. He's got ball-jointed ankles for swiveling turning, and he's got toe articulation. So as far as articulation for this figure goes, I really gotta hand it to this one over the Batman for, one, it actually doesn't interrupt the overall aesthetic quite as much as the Batman figure, and then two, it actually is more useful. It's actually, I mean, like I showed you, there's just more of it. It's more useful. Now, if we could just get some other Superman figures in there. Great, Krypton, that's a lot of Superman figures. But let's go ahead and name them first. So on the far left, moving your way all the way to the right, we have the Mapleridge Superman, then we have the Multiverse, then we have DC Films, the one we're reviewing, the Mezco 1/12 Collective, the SH Figuarts, and then the Mattel Kids version of the Dawn of Justice Superman. And if you thought that the DC Films version was big, this one definitely towers over it and the rest of them. So honestly, if you're looking for a Superman figure to be your definitive Superman, and you're hoping that it'll be reasonably in scale with all of your other figures, this one's definitely not going to be it. And if I might just give my own opinion, my overall favorite is still the Mapleridge in comparison to the rest of them. I know, some of you are like, why isn't it the Mezco 1/12 Collective? It just isn't. So now that we've had a good look at this figure and gone over all the things that I would usually go over in an action figure review, why don't we just quickly summarize everything? The packaging is incredibly attractive, and if it was a house, you would say it has marvelous curb appeal. It comes with a good amount of accessories, so bang for buck there is definitely being achieved. And also, the figure itself looks good, the colors all work together, and everything is painted in a very clean and tidy fashion. Although in some cases, like in Superman's chest emblem, you can see that the red didn't quite go to where it was supposed to be. As far as the sculpting is concerned, everything is sculpted really decently, and the way that the articulation points work with the body sculpting, it doesn't detract from the overall visual appeal of the figure, at least as far as I'm concerned. Some people might not like the larger balls inside of the elbows, for example, but for someone like me, they're absolutely fine. It is kind of sucky that you can see the little peg marks where his shoulders go, but overall the figure definitely has good flow. A few of the things that I think could be better on this figure are A, they didn't really pay attention to the Dawn of Justice movie accurate suit because there are no Kryptonian glyphs on the S or on the midsection of this suit anywhere whatsoever to be found. And as far as the cape, although it's very cool looking and you can really tell they put some effort into making something that would look cool, it's very heavy, kind of unwieldy. I'll definitely eventually be replacing it with a cloth goods cape. And with a cape this big that takes up this much space, it's going to make posing him with other figures at times, if you want a close-in shot, it's going to make it just a little bit tricky. So for me, even though the cape looks kind of cool, it's not a plus for me. It's not a selling point. But overall, I really like this figure, and I like it more than the Batman figure. So if you're a Henry Cavill Superman fan, I highly recommend that you pick this guy up, because right now, he's still going for pretty cheap in comparison to what he likely will end up selling for in the future. Then again, you never know. Sometimes they do drop in price. Regardless, either way, I do suggest you pick him up because I like him, and if you're a Superman fan, I hope you will too. I can't say I think you will because, I mean, people get nitpicky about all kinds of stuff. But as always, I'm just one guy. These are just my opinions and observations, and I'm sure that you're going to have your own. Hopefully I've helped you to make a better decision while watching this video. Yay or nay yourself. Leave it down in the comment section below because I'm interested to hear from you. If you like this video, pound it with a thumbs up. And finally, if you think you'd like to become a super friend and join the DC squad, hit the subscribe button. Remember to ding the bell so that you never miss a video. Oh, and if you'd like to send me a letter, a postcard, or a picture, the P.O. box will be down in the description. And I will see you next time. Have an awesome day, super friends. Take care.